Welcome to the O Show, your number one podcast for everything training, mindset, and nutrition. I am your host, Oren McCarry, and it is my goal to help you access the best information around to allow you to kick ass in the gym, in the kitchen, and most importantly, in your head. Between my own experiences and those of my amazing guests, I'm confident we will do that. So let's strap in and level up your life starting right now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Welcome to today's episode of the O Show. And today we have a returning guest. He was on season 1. I want to say he was on quite early, like maybe before episode 20. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jaxon Tippet on the line. How are you today, Jaxon?
Thanks for having me on the O Show, brother. I've been listening to a lot of your last podcasts. You pumped out a lot, man, since obviously we've done one. And you've had some pretty big guests on board, so congratulations.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, we hit our target of the 52 in the 1 year time frame. We're slightly behind. I set the target this year of having 2 a week. So we're going to go for 104 for the year. There's a few weeks there where just things got busy. I haven't done as many, but this episode is going to kickstart that now, and we're going to be recommitted to getting as much content out as we can, man. And yeah, the feedback's been pretty good, man. But it's kind of like your own, though, right? I've been on your podcast as well, and we did a good episode there, and you've had some killer episodes, some killer guests on there, and that seems to be going pretty well on your end, right?
Yeah, man, I'm enjoying it. I think we're on the same boat. How many did you say you've done in a year?
52, so we've done 1 a week on average.
Bro, we're literally the exact same, because we've been doing ours for 2 years, and We're up to episode 103.
Oh, wow. Nice, man. That's killer. So you've kept it quite consistent over the 2 years then?
Yeah, like obviously we've recorded more, but we've just consistently dropped one every week. I think it's probably the best.
Yeah. Get them banked up and just drop that 1 a week, huh?
Yeah, anything more than that, I think people still, you got to understand, people, they only listen to it late, or they might be doing other stuff. And if you drop any more than 2, one might take out the interaction of the other.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, because if I put one out solo, normally the listens are a lot less when I do the solo ones on a Monday, because then by the time people get through and they listen to other podcasts through their week, then the Friday one comes out, and normally it's a big guest. You know, like we'll drop this probably. This will be the only one this week, so I'll probably drop it pretty quickly, actually. But normally we drop the big guests on a Friday, and then, you know, that kind of affects the rest of the rating. So it's true, man. It's true. But tell me this, I want to ask you, what is it, like, I know what gets me interested in, you know, podcasts, and it's just that little bit of throwing a bit of my personality out there and getting some knowledge out there. But what is it about you? What do you actually enjoy about hosting a podcast, buddy?
Oh, man, so many things. It's probably my most enjoyable thing right now, to be honest. And, you know, for the majority of the time we were doing it for free. So it's basically, I would say in a nutshell, it is the feedback, the testimonials, and the support you get from the information you're putting out to help people. When you get that, it's like, I said this to Dom the other day, who was my co-host. I said, honestly, if there was no audience, put it this way, if there was no one listening to your podcast, you weren't getting feedback, would you be doing it? You probably wouldn't, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's so true. It's like all the stuff we get, like, oh my God, that helped, you know, spark my day, or that changed my life, or I can't believe that story. That's the stuff that's like, okay, now I want to bang out another episode. It's just so motivating, man.
Yeah, exactly. I got you, man. I got you. And it makes sense, you know, like we are gravitated to helping people when we work within the fitness industry. And like, I always say when I'm talking to people, like, I've helped thousands of people achieve their dreams through my coaching, because I've been in the industry 11 years now. So I've helped heaps of people. But now my goal moving forward is to use all these multiple platforms so I can help thousands of people per year, like, nail this. So like between the podcast, if we get a couple of 100 listens per month, if we have the free challenges, the actual hands-on coaching, all the free resources we put out, between all that, I want to have impacted 1,000 or more people's lives within a 12-month period. And I think it's very, very possible, given how accessible the podcasts are. Like, you can literally just put this on. There's going to be people who are driving listening to this, people who are sitting at home, people who are in work with their earphones in, people who are in the gym, people who are doing cardio. people will just listen to these things wherever. So the ability to actually impact like thousands of people within a year is huge, man. And the more we do this and the more we stick with this, the more we can actually try and achieve that, because the more the whole podcast grows.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You just got to keep pumping them out, be genuine, have good guests, and obviously have good topics.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. And speaking of good guests and good topics, man, let's get into today's episode. Now, because obviously last time we done a reasonably short episode, but it was just talking about the life of an influencer. And we talked a little bit about how you're an influencer, big following, you do a lot of the shoots and that. I think even the day we recorded, you were jumping straight off that call to run to get to a shoot. And basically, you can have influence in that sort of a way over people outside of your coaching, okay? Just through the normal stuff you promote on Instagram, which is pretty cool episode because we hadn't had anyone talk about that sort of stuff before. But a lot of what you've been posting out now, and I see a lot of people reshare your stuff, whether it's clients of mine or other people who I follow, and you're putting out a lot of mindset stuff and about specifically, I guess, like just how to be a good person, like little reminders, daily messages about either things you've learned or little quotes. Like, why are you taking this sort of approach now where you're literally putting up all this mindfulness stuff and mindset stuff?
Why do I do what I do? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, with the whole tag, like it seems like everything is now very like about you becoming the person that like a better person and becoming the person you want to be, and you're trying to inspire people to also follow you on that path to just basically being a good cunt, right?
Yeah, it's a good question, but it's pretty simple answer. It's basically seeing obviously how far I've come from my lowest time to where I am now, and that in itself is a hell of a transformation and a journey. And it's like the more you excel and help people and just be good and spread good vibes and energy, it's like your days only get better and you only excel more. So it's like it's just kind of like an addiction. The more, like, for example, the other day I think it was I might have messaged your clients or commented on one of their things, and then they found that a big shock, and they reached out and they were like, "Wow, thank you for the support." And then I was like, "No, like credit is given where it's earned." And then they said you were their coach, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's an amazing person." And whereas that would have not created if I didn't give them support. And it's like I just feel like it's free, it's so easy. So why aren't people doing it?
Yeah, absolutely, mate, absolutely. And like you said, you've been at a period where you were maybe in a bit of a lower phase, and it's people who are positive and encouraging to you that maybe helped you get to where you are now, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And like I feel like the more subside myself from negative people, negative situations, and all of that, the better my days get. So it's like, why let that energy come into your life? Like, just have people around you that uplift you, want you to succeed, and actually support you.
Yeah, man, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, like you spoke about when you're at your lowest, like that journey from your lowest to now where you're probably like living your best life and your highest energy. Let's talk quickly about like what was that lowest point for you? Because there's going to be people on here who are listening, like whether it's anxiety, depression, whatever you went through, people will be in the same position, and it's going to be inspirational for them to hear how far you've came yet. So do you mind sharing a little bit about that story?
Yeah, how deep do you want me to go into it?
Mate, I'm gonna just leave that up to you. It's up to you, man.
Okay. Yeah. So obviously starting out in the fitness scene, not everyone, but a lot of people, they go down the performance enhancing drugs route because
Yeah,
they want to get better and they want to get better quicker, and most people are using it. So it's like it's kind of the normality, if that makes sense, and you're
yeah,
only setting yourself short. Um, it's like how if you put someone that's on it as opposed to someone that's natural, obviously the person that's on it is going to get superior results faster. So it just becomes an addiction and everyone just gets on it. And I was obviously one of them to jump on the bandwagon. Um, and I don't have any regrets because it made me the person I am today. But it definitely sent me down a dark, nasty path that I definitely don't want to go down again and won't. And that was basically just, yeah, like I just got addicted. I got good results, like you said, and like any drug, it becomes addicting, and you just want more and more and more. So you use more, you don't get off it, and eventually something will happen, whether that's side effect due to health, whether that's getting caught, whether that's, whatever it may be. And I actually had both of those. And we'll kind of cut it long story short, but I got caught with the performance enhancing drugs, which are steroids, in my car. And I actually got caught not once, not twice, but 3 times, which is a huge offence in Australia. It's a class 1 drug, so it could potentially mean jail time.
Yeah.
And not until I went to court, and basically I didn't obviously go to jail, so I felt like I got let off.
Yeah.
Obviously just got fines and all of that type of stuff. But I felt like that was the changing moment, as I was the reoccurring like effect of what I was doing, and I wasn't learning my lessons. But it's not until I felt like that was like, okay, God's let me off, telling me to change because I haven't gone down that and haven't gone into jail. So he's telling me to do something different, and maybe this isn't for me. And yeah, from honestly that moment, man, like the next day, I just instantly, I just stopped it. It was not easy. I can sit here and say it was not easy. But I stopped it. I decided myself from the crowd I was hanging around with. I actually changed gym to a more commercial gym where it wasn't so much bodybuilding scene. So I didn't get that body dysmorphia. And yeah, ever since then, man, it's just, I've never used it, and it's just kind of been uphill. And yeah, I just want to help people and teach people right from wrong. And that's basically why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Nice, man. Nice. And I'm guessing that when you were going from that point where you literally just turned around, you're like, nah, I'm meant for something bigger, better. I'm not wasting my life like this with not fulfilling my potential. You probably had people along the way, like what you're trying to do now, who were that positive influence and were that sort of shining light. And what sort of an impact did that have, having people to look up to, whether it was either friends or mentors or anyone who gave you that positivity then?
Yeah. So what was the exact question?
Like, how did it feel having people who are doing exactly what you're doing now in terms of helping lift people up? Because that's what you're trying to do now with your Instagram, and be that good example to people. But did you have that influence? And if you did, then how did that feel having that in your corner versus when you didn't?
Oh, absolutely. It's and that's probably why I do what I do, because when I had those people uplifting me and you know, keeping my head on track and just keeping me in line and saying, you're doing great, so changing all of this, it makes the world of difference. It really does. And I suppose that's why I'm trying to do my little part to each individual. I can't help everyone, but if I can make someone's day each day, or help them, or steer them away from, a negative situation, then that's kind of just the win that I want.
Yeah. Huge, man. Huge. And obviously, like a lot of what you're going to be doing to help people is through your coaching. So how have you found your transition from that moment where you decided to start helping people and living a better life? Then you transitioned into coaching. How have you found that to not only help yourself out of this, but through helping others? Like, has that been like a huge learning tool for you?
Yeah, definitely. Just so much more to do with like the mindset, I think, and how much you're capable of if you tap into your mindset and control it. As you know yourself, like I think the mind controls everything. If you can conquer your mindset, you're virtually capable of anything.
Yeah.
And that's something I try to utilize on most of my clients. It's not the fact, yeah, you will not have the best genetics. Yeah, everyone's stuffed up. They cheat on their diet. Some days they don't feel like training, etc. But if you can be consistent and have that strong mindset and mentality, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to do very well with whatever it is, with fitness or work related or lifestyle.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. And did you find that you had to, I guess, remove any negative influences from your life to get from where you were to where you are now?
Oh, absolutely, man. I shifted my whole crowd of who I used to hang out with. And there's nothing, I just want to sit in and say there's nothing there's nothing wrong with taking performance enhancing drugs. I still have many people that I still talk to that take them, but
Yep.
it's just not for me, and it didn't make me the person I want to be. And yeah, like obviously I don't hang out with these guys on a daily, but you know, I'd say hi to them. Like I've got nothing wrong with them. But yeah, I just felt like if you don't associate with those people on a day-to-day basis and kind of look up to them, then that's probably the main thing. And I've shifted my mindset, and even who I follow and I watch on a daily, the podcast I listen to, all of that makes a huge difference into the person you will be and who you are going to become.
Yeah, huge, man. And that's something that I spoke about to the group. We had the free female fat loss challenge that I run. We kicked off last night, and one of the first things was about setting themselves up for success. And obviously we're talking like weight loss here, but a lot of people use social media as a negative, where they will consume a lot of content from people who do not serve them, and they're not like in a line with the person they want to become, whether it's they're comparing themselves to supermodels or pro athletes or whatever it is. And they think, well, they can do this, why can't I do this? And they negatively compare themselves, like, I'm a piece of shit because I can't keep my weight under control or whatever it is. So the simplest thing that I got the people to do last night was to go and screenshot their following, so how many people they follow, and then get rid of anyone who either they're going to negatively compare themselves to, or who literally are people who doesn't serve them anymore. And some of these girls were like, they got rid of like 20 people or whatever. One girl came in and she had got rid of like 200-300 people. She was like, wow, I just got lost in a trance and realized I follow so many people who don't add any value to my life. And that's the type of thing that I guess we all need to do, because people like yourself, people like me, people like, you know, loads of people on the internet will be trying to help these people to be the best they can be through the content that we put out, through the little messages we do, our little messages of, like, you're always in people's comments giving them support. I'm normally in their DMs replying to their stories and that, just giving them a wee rally cry. Like, people need more positive influence in their lives, but they also need to have an audit of all these negative people in their life, and I guess how they interact with these people, right? Either remove them or don't see them as, you know, comparison, or anyone who's pulling you down, or even family members and friends that aren't on the same level as you, because you need to, as part of your growth, you're going to level up. And it's not that people will often say, oh, you know, he's changed, but that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to get better and better. And if other people will try to pull you down to their level, and if you end up outgrowing them, that's not that they're a bad person or anything. It's just that you're focused on your growth and becoming the person you want to become, and you can't really, you know, be pulled back there. You know, I would rather try to help pull people up to my level than try to lower my level to meet other people's standards, if that makes sense.
Oh, I couldn't relate anymore, man. You hit the nail on the head there. And, you know, people that hate on you, or they say, oh, you changed. They're probably just, you know, insecure or unhappy because they're still in the same place that you used to be.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. And mate, what's next for Jax? Like, you've been on this journey so far, you are always evolving, you're becoming a better coach every time I see stuff on Instagram, you've got loads of happy clients, you're putting out all this good energy, but like, what's the big things coming up for Jaxon this year?
Yeah, I think it's just honestly along the same lines, but just excelling in every area, becoming more of an influence. Sorry, I shouldn't say that word, I don't like it, but becoming more of a help to people, spreading out more good information, you know, helping transform more people's lives. Just all of that, man. Like, I just don't think there's really a limit, but if you do those things that I'm currently doing and you get to the top of your game with them, yeah, there's big potential and endless opportunities with it.
Yeah, 100%, man. One thing you said there, I mean, is you don't like the word influencer, and I think that's just got a negative stigma on it, because most influencers now are people who just put photos up on Instagram and pump like products after product after products. So people like are a bit bored of influencers now, but there's nothing wrong with being an influencer in the sense that you're helping people and being positive, because all an influencer means is that you have influence over somebody. Now, most people, that will mean that the term influencer means you're influencing them to buy something, or, you know, align with an apparel brand or whatever it is. But have an influence over somebody in terms of, right, you can make a positive impact and influence them to be a better person, or influence them to be fitter, leaner, smarter, like, you know, invest in, like, if you're influencing people in the stock market, that's a good thing. If you're influencing people with their health and their mindset, that's a good thing. So I mean, don't, like, if you're influencing people and you're an influencer, there's nothing wrong with that at all, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's just come to the reality of majority of people that call themselves influencers and not doing the type of things that I'm doing. Like, it's not actually helping people, spreading good information, etc. It's just, as you said, taking a fake photo that's edited, and they've got a bit of, you know, they get tons of likes and comments, and that's the typical influencer. But I suppose when it's like an influence of, like, they're influencing someone like I'm trying to do, it's a whole different story in my.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, man. 100%. And what about me? Because I know people who follow me will follow you. And I even, some people have reached out to me saying, I've been in their DM saying, hey, how's everything going? And they've been saying, oh, I can't wait to start with Jaxon and my coaching and everything. So if people are listening to this and they do like the direction you're going, Jax, how do they get in touch with you about something like coaching, or, you know, pump the podcast as well there, brother? Let me, let us know how people can get some more access to you.
You're a legend, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, so everything's just on my page at I am Jaxon Tippet. Everything's on there, my website, and everything's through there with my podcast, my coach, and all that. You know, I'm not really one to be, I'm not needy with clients. Like, I'm not that person like that. But if you want to jump on board, all I can say is, you know, I do give my clients my all. I'm genuine. I don't bullshit around you know, I don't do anything fake. But I'm not sitting here trying to advertise and crave clients to get a paycheck. Do you know what I mean? I think it just comes down to being genuine. And if you're genuine, like, I think the clients will come, and the testimonies and feedback will follow with nothing but positivity.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, it's been great to catch up with you. Great to get a good chat in. I wish you all the best with the podcast. Obviously, you got all the links if people want to go follow it. It's in your Instagram. People can reach out. So, all the best for that. All the best for your coaching. And I just want to say, keep pumping out the inspiring message, because I do see it a lot where people will screenshot your stories and they will reshare them. And I think it's awesome that, you know, people are putting out good content and putting out relevant content for people's mindsets, and helping people to grow, man. Killer. Good work.
Likewise, man. Like, I always say to you, like, I know you work hard. I respect what you do. All your clients say you're amazing when I message them, like, they're like, you know, he's the man. Oh, so it's just good, man. I just think keep doing what you're doing. We have a different niche, and this is why I don't get why people are competitive. Because although we're both online coaches, I don't care how many clients you get. Although we both have a podcast, I don't care how many views you get. I want you to excel more, and that's what I think makes me different to a lot of other people.
Yeah, man, 100%. And that's why people will gravitate towards you as well, because, mate, there is no competition. I don't even know how many people there is in Australia, like, what, 25 million or more, maybe? I don't even really know the number. I know there's locally in Perth here, there's like 2-3 million. There is no competition around. If everyone cannot thrive and have a great business and a great life and, like, a busy podcast, like, how many people are in the world who can listen to our podcast? It is fucking billions. We are not competing. If anything, we are collaborating more, right? Like, people who like my stuff might like your stuff too. So it's like, if anything, we can help each other grow rather than the opposite. So I think a lot of times what people do wrong is they think of everyone as their competition rather than their collaborators, you know?
Well, and that's the main thing I want to just get out of this is just try shift that out of your head, and try actually congratulate someone if they're doing well, or uplift them rather than bring them down because you want to be in their position. I guarantee you will get a lot more love and feedback than being that person that puts them down or thinks you have to compete with them.
Yeah, man, 100%, man. So, mate, throw out, I don't think we mentioned the name of your podcast. So in case people are just want to type it into their search bar, how do they find it again?
Yeah, man, it's just the I Am Me podcast. And yeah, that's basically it. It's also in my bio too.
Yeah, awesome, great stuff, mate. Well, I'm gonna let you go because I know you've got a busy day and it's getting sort of mid-afternoon over there. So, mate, keep up the good work, and we will no doubt catch up on either this podcast or your own very soon.
Thank you so much for having me on, brother.
Thanks, mate. Speak soon.
Bye.
Thanks for joining me on today's episode of The O Show. If you know somebody who needs to hear this episode today, please share this with them via message or on social media. Don't forget to also take a screenshot and share it on your story and tag me at Oren McCarry so we can continue to grow the podcast and help more people change their lives with the advice given here. Also, keep the 5-star reviews coming over on iTunes, as that helps people who normally wouldn't listen to the show find it and get the O Show in their ears and drive the podcast forward to help more people around the world with the advice here. Have a great day, and I will speak to you soon.